your major and stuff? Like, I'm a
Yeah, I'm a molecular biology and biochemistry major here. I'm also a senior, and I work in the greenhouse. Hirschfield, you know, you walk in and like maybe see 3 other students, and they're always film majors, you know, or they're same couple people. Like, I don't necessarily know them because I'm not a film major, but and I only ever go to the 3 p.m.s. I never go to the 8. But I can't imagine, like, it's very different at the 8. Maybe even fewer people in general. But it's mostly townspeople. And actually really, especially like when I was an underclassman, and you know, you don't really get out much off campus or whatever, it's like a little bit more difficult. Like, that was great.
So, do you find other younger kids, you know, kids your age, going over there at all?
I've seen maybe maximum 2 students whenever I've gone. 2 other students. And that's part of why we're making this.
So here you have it Saturday afternoons and evenings. So you have gone through a whole school week, and now you have your weekend. So, what are you going to do for your weekend? A lot of people must go to the movies.
People just don't show up to things that are like the least bit outside of the mainstream. Even, you know, I don't know if it's just because like, and I'm throwing a lot of shade here at just like the general populace. I hope this doesn't come across too badly, but it's just this feeling of like, maybe people would give lip service to the fact that this is a great opportunity. These are like awesome things that you could take advantage of. But for some reason, the culture here is always like, that never wins out over sort of, oh, but I have readings and papers that I do on the weekends or whatever, these like sort of more mundane, like immediate things. But for me, like, just, you know, like I was saying before, I think a lot of your education is just exposure to things. So it's not so much about the work that you do. Right, that kind of comes after the fact. That's kind of like the synthesis of what you've been exposed to. But for me, it's like, the more I can expose myself to things that aren't directly related to like classes or curriculum, the more enriching the classes then become.
So why do you go instead of not going? Instead of staying home watching your laptop, why do you kids go?
I think having the movie-going experience alive is very important. I think individuals will, to some degree, try and keep it going, at least somewhat. But with the kind of the takeoff in terms of Netflix, where individuals have the ease of being able to watch something at home, that reduces whether individuals will go to see a movie. But they're losing out on a lot of the existential connection that actually happens in a movie theater, where you're not only just experiencing the movie, you're also experiencing how other people are experiencing that movie, and how feeling that other individuals are experiencing that movie in a similar way to you helps to individuals to feel connected to one another.
And I love walking out of the theaters, especially after seeing some weird shit. Oh, what was that movie? It was this French movie. What was it called? It was like some taxi thing. Do you remember what it was called? It's gonna bother me. It's like Auto something. It's movie about cars. It's totally weird. It was sweet, but it was really weird. And I just like overhearing conversations among these like adults and senior citizens afterwards was just so refreshing. Because like here, I think if somebody is confused by something or you know doesn't quite quote unquote get it, they'd be hesitant to say that because it would imply that they're not, you know, smart enough or like they don't know enough to get it. But like they're just like, what was that? You know, like I remember hearing someone be like, that was the weirdest thing I ever saw. And it's exactly what I was thinking too, you know?
I think it's part of the movie going experience, or if you're just sitting and watching it on your laptop and not talking to people about it, or like not interacting with them in the movie theater, it's like it's different, and you're missing an important part about. Otherwise, you're just staring at a screen and
Yeah.
yeah.
I hadn't thought of that, but it's true. It's true. It really does make a big difference. Remember when Rocky Picture Horror Show came out when I was living in the city? And of course, it didn't take long for everybody to be going in costume and knowing all the lines and so on. But the thing there was the interaction between those of us who were watching, right? We weren't just watching it, we were actually there interacting with each other watching it. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, you know, when people whistle for the good guy and boo the bad guy, and you're all in it together. I hadn't thought of that, but it's true.
Do you, going back to like the audience in the theater, do you ever interact with them other than like overhearing conversations after the movie?
No, not really. And I think that's on me, you know, like, but I'm trying to think if I've ever like had a conversation with one of these people about the movie. It's not to say I don't wish I did, though. Like, I think it would be interesting to have someone with a totally different perspective, having just witnessed the same thing, to like kind of get their take on it.
The other thing is, though, you know, you kids over at Middlebury are very fortunate. You know, you're very fortunate. Most of the kids may not even really appreciate how extraordinarily privileged you are. Not only are you getting a really great education, but you're also moving among people who have plenty of money. But see, for kids who are really fortunate, well, not just kids, of course, people who only have that very kind of privileged life and have never experienced times without, right? There just isn't the sense of truly communicating.
And so the movie-going experience of being in a movie theater can have benefits in terms of an individual's existential connection with other individuals and their interpersonal connection with other individuals.
Also, there's this thing of like, on Saturdays at like 5 or whatever, when you get out of the theater, like, you walk around campus and everything just looks different. It doesn't last forever, but like everything looks different. And I think it has to do with like seeing something that the experience of the movie itself was, you know, a controlled experience. Like they were showing you the world in a certain way, and then you come out and it changes how you see the world just yourself. And that's really cool. And not all movies do that, but most of the Hirschfield ones have.